Okay, round one against Mr. Diamond Blade. My time's a little low. He's not playing any soul-binded cards, so he's usually when they're not playing any soul-bind cards, I put them on Herald. My best opener here is probably the Behemoth, just because it's a pretty good clock, and playing a 4/7 in rank in turn one's not that threatening. These are all better blockers than they are like their own cards. If I'm lucky, my opponent plays something that puts Leyline Sentry into play, so I can play Ironbeard and First Restore. Otherwise, Botanimate. Yeah, so he's definitely playing Herald. So against Herald, they don't actually have any. I would consider Herald one of this deck's weaker matchups because they don't have any cards that come into play that aren't from their hand, and they can't move any of their creatures. It's kind of the worst of both worlds. But I'm gonna play Leyline Golem here anyway because ranking it up is better than ranking up any of these other cards, except for maybe First Restore. But First Restore doesn't really do anything on this board state, and I'd rather have a level 2 Leyline Golem in my deck because it still worked with Ironbeard. And it's also 6 power, so it's a little aggressive. I shouldn't have played this in the center lane. I messed up, not really thinking. Nexus Aeronaut usually goes in the center lane. I mean, it can go in the side lane if you're defensive, but I like playing it in the center lane a lot. That's a really loose HeraldBomb. If he's playing Malice Hermit here, it's not that great because he doesn't know if I have Dendrify or whatnot, and I'm playing a Uterra deck, so it's highly likely I have Dendrify. Plus, this is gonna be chump blocked by like anything. I generally don't like using Phytobomb like this. So it's got a 10/10. I think what I do is attack first off. Then I will play Nexus Aeronaut over here, and I have two choices. I could play Ironbeard to make his Malice Hermit smaller and move it, but it won't kill it, so that's probably not the play. Or I could just play Shardblade Behemoth to trade, and that I think is the play. Shardblade Behemoth's actually pretty good against Herald decks. Not great when they've already leveled Oronti Element or Oronti Warlord and Malice Hermit, but it's still fine. Now if he blocks Ironbeard this turn, I actually get to play a Leyline Golem for free. Or I get to put a Leyline Golem into play. Which I guess is not the best if he has Heralds, because the Herald will almost kill Leyline Golem. How big is this toughness at rank 3? I think it's an 18-14? Okay, so it still lives from Herald level 3, if we even get to that point. Okay, so he's not blocking Ironbeard. He's just going to let it die next turn or something. Ironbeard is actually pretty good against Herald. Like, the card Ironbeard is good against the card Herald, because it shrinks its power. Unfortunately, I don't have anything that does that right now. If you can, I haven't mentioned this because it's a really weird interaction. It's something you wouldn't really know unless someone told you. But generally, you want to try to play your Shardplate Behemoths on the left side of your board, because if you play Nexus Ironaut in the center, it'll give, because of the way like static abilities work in Solforge, the Behemoth will see its own ability and give itself power. Like as it travels left from right, it'll resolve your static abilities. So the Behemoth will have power equal to its health, and then the Aeronaut will give it +2/+2. But if the Shardblade Behemoth is on the right, then the Aeronaut will give its +2 power, and then the Behemoth will override it with its own ability, so it won't get the power. It's really weird. You wouldn't expect it, but that's actually how it works. I'm just gonna battle here. My Ironbeard dies next turn. It's either between Relic or Golem. Relic is a 6/7. Golem would be a 7/5. But I'd rather have again, I'd still rather have leveled Golems in my deck than leveled Hunters. Hunters is an okay card, but it still scales pretty well even if you don't level it, because it always gets the power of whatever you replace it with. Another Herald. So I'm gonna give my Ironbeard Breakthrough and an additional armor, And then I'm going to play Thundersword in front of his other Herald. I probably should have let the Herald hit me first, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Because this way he can't Dendrify to kill one of my creatures. And we're still putting up a fairly good clock. I can also play this turn Behemoth and then give it armor with gauntlets, or I could maybe gauntlets my golem to kill something small of his. The bad thing is I usually like to kill heralds even if they're at -1 power, because you can always pump them with like Werewood Patriarch, Legion Shard, stuff like that. Yep, there's the aforementioned herald. That even gives him 6 power, so he can Dendrify one of my things for value. The Ironbeard, most likely. Botanimate. Yeah, he's leveled those cards pretty well. So if I deal 3 damage to this herald, it's still not enough. I think I'm just going to give armor to my Thundersword, because my other option is what? Dendrify his herald. I mean, that does kill the herald, but I don't really need to level Dendrify this rank. I would rather, I think, play a level 2 gauntlets and have a slightly larger Thundersword. I probably actually should have used gauntlets on the golem. So this is a pretty good hand. I've actually got a level 2 Aeronaut, which eats his Patriarch and pumps my team. And then I can just play the Golem if I need to. Golem or Ironbeard, depending on what he plays. I actually probably should have given the armor to Shardplate Behemoth. And then he pumps his Herald. Is he gonna Dendrify my Thundersword? Exus Aeronaut has Dendrify my Shardplate, so his Herald still dies. He just wanted to kill my Shardplate. This has 3 armor if I play it in an offlane, so I think I'm going to just play it here, eat his Patriarch, and then play Golem right here. That way I can slide to either of the side lane, either of the off lanes, and still have 2 Golems on offensive. This hand's not the greatest. Probably play Ironbeard as a blocker here, and Shardplate Behemoth for attacking purposes. I might have to move the Aeronaut off to the side. Aeronaut actually has 5 armor right now if I put it on defense, because it gets 3 armor if it's not in the center lane. So we played a Malice Hermit, so that... It kills my Leyline Golems. It's really unfortunate. I think I'm actually just going to kill his Malice Hermit, because I don't really have anything else that kills it. And then I'm going to play Behemoth in the side lane, because if he has a if he has a Botanimate or Dendrify, I don't want him to Dendrify this like Behemoth that blocks. So what I want to do is play Behemoth here and block with Ironbeard. That way if I draw any of my Leyline Golems, I also get to move a creature and deal some damage to his Herald. I even drew a Leyline Golem, so... Unfortunately, I do take damage from the Herald's ability when I play this Leyline Golem, but it's still worth it. Because it's still an 11 too. It doesn't just straight up die. Actually, it'd be a little larger because Ironbeard gives it -2 attack before it does damage. And it looks like it dies now. So I kind of dealt 10 damage to myself there, but it was worth it. And I'm just going to Dendrify this guy because I can't really deal with that card otherwise. So now he has 2 level 2 heralds in his deck, 2 level 3 heralds in his deck, which is kind of terrifying. Usually I want to be ahead by the time they reach rank 3, because rank 3 is their very scary rank. They just pull out a bunch of damage out of nowhere. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot to do about the damage they're going to pull out. And I have to block this Tree Folk, because I can't afford to take damage. I guess I hope he plays his Werewood Patriarchs and just doesn't draw Heralds, Because he hasn't really leveled anything else. That's not, like, that's... Is that big enough to kill my guy? Yeah. Because that's unfortunate. So this goes down to 12, and this goes up to a really big number. I think I just play the Ironbeard in front of the Oronti, and the other Ironbeard in front of the Malice Hermit. And my client's lagging a little bit. I don't really want to plus battle again. Are we good? Battle? Okay, so this kills his Malice Hermit. It does open me up to Gentrify, just a smidgen. Actually, probably... No, that's not good. I was going to say I probably could have played the Ironbeard, then played the Relic Scout somewhere else to replace my next creature and give it armor. But then I wouldn't be able to kill the Malice Hermit, and he would have no reason to Gentrify it. He would just Gentrify my my level 3 Ironbeard, which he's currently doing. Which means he doesn't have a Herald, which is good. Yeah, I drew a Leyline Golem, so I get to put that into play at least. Oh no, it doesn't move, so I don't get to play it. Super awkward. I'm gonna play Leyline Golem. I can either play Leyline Golem or Aeronaut. Aeronaut's probably a little better. Yeah, because it has armor, it lives a little longer. Plus I can pump my Behemoth this way. And block his other Ronti. A little bit of level screw this level. It's not ideal. That is one of the risks of playing Soulbind cards. You tend to get a level screw a little more than average because you have extra cards in your deck. Can I do anything about this? I can deal damage to his Herald here. Then block this with Thundersoar. It's going to take a really long time to kill him. To kill that Aronti, I don't think it matters. And then just play Justicar. Because Justicar's a little bigger than Leyline Sentry. I could have given armor to the Thundersoar, but then it wouldn't kill Aronti Warlord like ever. It would get one attack per turn. Unfortunately, I don't have any level 3 Dendrifies in my deck. So I can't actually kill any level 3 Heralds he plays. Unless I draw, like... I'm not sure. Really well. Ursine Strength, Phytobomb? Or Attack Phytobomb? Dendrify? That is unfortunate. Though on the plus side, that was his plays, so you can't really do anything else. And I can play Relic Scout, Relic Hunter to make this block, because that would be +6/+6 to this guy, so it would be a 10/11, which is more than enough to kill his Herald. Level 1 Herald, thankfully, not a level 3 Herald. And then I'll play the Behemoth over here. And that leaves me with 2 creatures on the board to his nothing. Hopefully he doesn't draw very well, and I can draw some level 3 cards and kill him. Oh, I do have a level 2 Dendrify in my deck. Okay. So I can actually kill a Herald once. And he can only do 24 damage to me, so I'd be at 3 if he has a Phytobomb Herald combo. He just has straight Phytobomb for blocking, which kills Thundersoar. Still does 6 damage to him. And if he plays Malice Hermit here, I can Dendrify it, so it's not even that bad. Though I imagine if he had Malice Hermit, he would have played it before my 2 creatures died. So I think this is just like a desperation Phytobomb. And luckily, that doesn't even kill my Relic Hunter. Luckily, level 3 Phytobomb doesn't even put creatures into play under your opponent's control. So level 3 Phytobomb only fills up your lanes with saplings. What's the play? I think it's just attack. Then play Leyline Golem here to block his guy, block his thing with Relic Scout, and then play a Shardblade Behemoth. Because I don't want to take damage from the sapling. Even though I want armor on my Behemoth, it's not worth the like 3 extra damage or the 8 extra damage I'd be taking from this sapling, so I'd rather just use this as a blocker. And if he replaces, if he botanimates my Relic Scout, it gives the seedling +3/+3 armor 3 and breakthrough. That sucks. Unfortunately, he's dead though, because this does 25 damage to him. He already played all his spells. Unless he has another Dendrify that's level 3, because those are free. Pump up my Aeronaut to display my mastery of Solforge, and win round 1. Sweet.